Okay, so this time I'm going to make an ashtray. I know it's quite a simple design, but pretty essential for kind of the theme that we're trying to make. I want to get a good feel of what the 50s were like, and seeing a few posters with cigarette adverts really inspired me to kind of create this. So this is the ashtray I'm going to make. It's a very, very simple ashtray, but we can customize it with porcelain or something, or the likes. So first of all, I'm going to create the circle. Now, since this is going to be a smaller object, but it's still going to be quite a high poly environment, we're going to go with 12. So I'm going to just make it 12, and then I'm going to add a face to this. I might be putting my cigarette ashtray here just so that I have a better view of it, and I'm going to start building it. So first of all, I'm making the base. There we go. And then I'm going to inset it so that I can get a nice thickness there, a rim. So there we go. And then I'll just extrude it here. Cool. Now I'm probably going to be using I'm probably going to be using a boolean for this. So first of all, I'm going to create a cylinder, and this cylinder is going to have we're going to go I think probably 16 for this one, because we're just going to be using half of it. So I'm just going to rotate this 90 degrees and then move this outside of the, oops, didn't want to do that, oops, bear with me, SX, how strange, oh, I've rotated it the wrong way for some reason, so I'll just rotate it 90 degrees, scale it, and then scale it here. There we go. Now to create this, I'm going to make it more of a capsule shape on the, right here. So I'm just going to select half of it, like so. Oops. Like so. And then I'm going to separate it like so. And I'll just bridge these together, or just delete this because we don't really need it. And then just select both of these, extrude that as far as it can go, and then just fill these in. And there we go, now we have our cutter. So I'm just going to sharpen this out so that we get a nice cut there. And then I'll just duplicate it and then rotate it 90 degrees here. And now we have a nice cutter there. So I'll just select this and I'll do Control minus so that I can create a Boolean shape. And now I can just cut through it. But you can see that unfortunately there are shading issues there. So there's a quick way of fixing this. I can select this, and I hope I'm not talking out my ass and actually making it not do it correctly, but it's all good. Let's try this out. I'm going to do this, and then I'm going to what was it again, to actually make it fix up. Bear with me. That's some. There we go. Then we can fix this. So I'm going to try and figure out how to, oh my goodness, there we go. Okay, cool. How to actually make this without these here. We could really just make a make it so that I duplicate this, and then, oh shit, sorry about that. there we go. Okay, so I'll sharpen this. I'll make it a little bit stronger. Actually, first, wait, there we go. Select this, unset it to sharp, and then press Q, sharpen, and then we'll make the sharpness 60. Cool. Then I'll select this, and then Control minus, and I'll duplicate this just in case, and then I'll just delete this boolean here so that we have another normal looking thing here. So I'll just put this into this layer. Just trying things out here. It might not work at all, so just giving it a go. And I'm going to select this, and I'm going to give it a data transfer. And this data transfer is going to be selecting the other, what did I call it again? I called it circle.001, so I'll just select this, and then do circle.001. And then I'm going to click on this custom normals, and then you can see that it's already kind of creating that kind of shape that I really like. But unfortunately, it's creating strange normals here, and that's not really what I want. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually tell the program that the only thing I want affected is this. How am I going to do that? Let me check it out. If I were to put this here, okay, that creates a mess. Generate data layers. I could create a so I could actually tell that I want this shape. So actually just move it here and then apply this boolean so that I can delete that. But then I kind of want it to actually not read this here. So what I'd probably want to do is, if I do a sharpen here and it selects everything, and then I do a something like this, it will apply my other thing, right? Okay, interesting. Okay, so why hasn't it? Oh yeah, it's done now. Cool. So what we probably want to do is actually try this out and then tell the program that I want everything else to actually be affected by the modifier. So vertex group assign, and then if I select that, it will only select these. And then if I were to assign that to the group, this won't be affected, but it is a little bit. What if I were to move this very, very close to this? Okay. And is this affected by the group? Select. Yes, it is. So I'll just select this and remove that from the group. Okay, better. Alright. But I still want it to have... Okay, right. So what we're probably going to do is I'm probably going to go back a little. Is this still affecting? No. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to keep this shape. I'm going to apply... should I apply data transfer? Oh yeah, but then it will have custom clear. So we'll clear the custom split normals, and that will make it, well, a normal kind of deal here. So once we've applied that, we can delete this, and then I'm going to make my high poly mesh. And the high poly mesh, so I'm just going to delete that. The high poly mesh, which we can move to this, is going to have this here. So we're going to cut it in, oh bugger. See, what I could have done was actually put it on the rim there. Let's give that a go. So yes, there we go. Okay, so now I'll just move it, rotate it -60. Is that what works? No. -15. Perfect. Right. So now that creates this. I can take this data transfer out, and it creates quite a nice looking, oops, surface there. I think that will work, but let's apply this, and let's create the high poly. Let me actually apply it a little bit further up. There we go. So I'll duplicate that, and I'll move it to this layer. Cool. Actually, I'll just duplicate the applied mesh, and I'll move the duplicate to this layer. Now, what we need to do is we need to actually make it so that this is the high poly. So I'll make all of this into a smooth surface. So I'll take that out. I'll take the auto smooth off, and you can see, oh no, it's a mess, right? So this will have to be the high poly. We're going to have to make it look exactly like it is the high poly. So I'm going to select both of these just to make it a little bit easier for me, and I'm going to rotate it 45 degrees. So now we have this high poly mesh, and we're going to select all of this here and delete that, and then we can just delete both of these, and now we'll be only working on this. So I'm going to select these, and I'm going to connect these up. Sometimes the best thing to do is to put a small amount of support edges just to be very sure. There we go. And I'll join that up. And you can see that there are no, let's try it out with a reflective surface. Yeah, that's looking fine. That's looking absolutely fine. But we'll add a bevel anyway, so this will have to be smooth. So we're going to have to put that smooth. But you can see that that kind of creates a very strange kind of pattern here. So I'll sharpen that, and then I'll create a bevel. And that should look fine. I'll make the width a little bit smaller. And then I'll put the segments to 2, and I'll put the profile to 1. And then I'll take out the auto smooth. And that should work. Yeah, that works perfectly. So I'll select that, and then I'll just rotate it 90 degrees, sorry. There we go. And then I'll just do that a few more times. Remove the doubles here. Face that, and then face that. And now we have our high poly mesh. So low poly, high poly. And that should bake perfectly. Yeah. I'm seeing a few here. A bit of bullshit there, but I think it'll be fine. If we were to actually just move this here, would we have the same problem? I don't think so. So I'll select these, and then I'll check, see here, if the problem is still around when I make it a little bigger. So I can see a bit of a change there. Not a massive change, but I think what we've got here is fine. It'll work. Just to be 100% certain, what we could try is... I get very anxious when something is not exactly the perfect bake. So this ashtray, even though it's a very simple asset, I could take a while in it because it won't produce a 100% perfect bake. And right now, what I'm looking at right now are these here, if you can see that. Now, no one will be able to see this, right? This will be perfect in a game engine, but I'm a little bit weird that way, so I'm going to try and give it something a bit more. So I'm going to apply this bevel. I'm going to try it out on another mesh actually, because this might take me in a tangent that I don't want to be in. And then I'll take... Yeah, I'll remesh this actually. So I'll just take this, duplicate this, separate it, and then now that I've got this, I'll just move it to this layer. I'll select that and then move it to the top there. Cool. Perfect. So now I can just select this and sharpen it so that, there we go, it sharpens. And then I'll just Control N for the normals. And then I'll tell this to copy its normal. So I'll apply this and I'll give the data transfer onto this thing, which is circle.003. I really should call these what I need. And custom normals. And I'll enable auto smooth on this. And then I'll just hide this and see what we've got. Now it's not doing it perfectly because first of all I need to select everything in here, but is there a way of there we go, so that selects everything there. And then what I'll do is I'll make this my normal, so I'll select that and use my vertex group, assign, and then I'll assign that to the group. You can see that still there's a little bit of weird shit going on there, so I'll try and check, see if Okay, that's a little weird. That shouldn't be. That should be very straight. All right. Okay. Let's see if I can maybe put more. Maybe that will change it. No. Okay, I'll move this to the fourth layer. And then I'll add some more subdivisions here. Maybe that will change it. No, it doesn't. Okay. So let's give this a go. Maybe if we actually change this now it will still create that thing. It shouldn't be. Face data, maybe? Nearest face. Is there nothing that changes there? Maybe vertex data? That doesn't change anything. Oh! There we go. Perfect. Projected face interpolate. You're my champion. Wow, that's really good. That's fantastic. The only thing I don't like of this now is that we don't want it to replace it. I think we need it to Is there anything here that will no? Okay. Replace then. And so we don't have that anymore. So I'll apply this. But what I do want is to actually make this not the sharp. Oh, I think I know. So this is, okay, this is going to be it. We're not going to mix it, we're going to replace it. And then in here, I'm going to set it to be, yes, 180. Perfect, perfect. And then I'll apply this and we've got the perfect thing. It doesn't have any bullshit to it or anything. It's brilliant. Oh, that's great. Okay, so here we've got our normal thing, and this will be taken out because it still has that bullshit here. So I'll delete that. And this is our new hero. Look at that. Imperfect topology, but perfect shading. Yes, I like that. So it goes a long way actually worrying about stupid things like those, because some people would really like go to town with like adding in stuff to this to actually make it look like there's a thing, but no, we're fine. Look at that. So this is going to turn into this. No problem. Let's actually give it a try. I'm that confident. What I'm not confident about is my license for Substance Painter. I think it might have gone. Oh, don't you love? Don't you love licenses? Um, Especially educational licenses that I use. No, I don't. I don't want that. Ah, yes, that's great. That's really nice. Really lovely. Good people. Algorithmic. Very nice. For educational purposes. That's cool. I like that. Right, well that's fine. We don't need this bullshit here. I can't now exit my Substance Painter. It looks like the satanic force. Wow, geez, that was a battle. So we'll use our own tools, won't we? We'll open up UV Imager, and I'll start by unwrapping this. the unwrapping might be a little hard because we've got a few, oh my god, a few n-gons. So I'm just going to take this out and I'm going to start unwrapping it. So it should be quite simple. We actually moved this here, and that's interesting. Why is this only going here, and then this, yeah, only going there? Huh, interesting. There we go. There we go. I think that's all of it there. And then I'll just do it here as well. There. Boom, boom. Cool. So I'm marking that as a seam. And then I'm going to select all of this. And I'm marking all of this as a seam. Cool. Let's give that a go. I don't know if it's gonna look any good, but let's unwrap that. Oh, so that did that because I didn't actually set a seam here or here. So that's trouble in my part, but I feel like it's not gonna look great. Yeah, look at all those lovely n-gons being spat back at me. Okay, alright, n-gons. Let's give this a try. So I can see that it's creating. I can just make that into a. So if that happens, then we get a nice. Why is this still? Interesting. Okay, let's rectify that. There we go. Now, the real problems here are these, and that's completely understandable. But I'm going to trick the system. I'm going to tell it to actually unwrap it from exactly what it sees. So right now it's seeing that. So I'm just going to unwrap this appropriately to this. Actually, I could. Whoops. There we go. So I select these. I select this one as well. Project from view. I'll do it the same here as well. Project from view. Project from view. And I think this one has been as well. Cool. Now I select these. And what I'll do is because these are all kind of strangely aligned, I'll just do a Control A, and that should make them the same size. I'll select all of these and I'll just press a pin so that now anything that if I unwrap it again, it will be the same kind of like structure. Cool, that's perfect. So now we have to kind of work with these as well. So I'm just going to do this, then project from view, this, project from view, this, there we go, and then finally this. Cool. Select all of these, do the same thing, Control A, pin. So now all of these are pinned. I'm going to Control A and then Control P. And we also don't want it to rotate. Just rotate it properly. I should be rotating it the other way, shouldn't I? I'll do that when I've rotated all of them. Cool. So now I can just select. Oh yeah, I haven't. Yeah, these are fine. Okay, so I'll just select all these. I'll take them this way. And just Control P. There we go. And we also want to unwrap this so that everything. So I'll give this a try. I'll try it out. Wow, that's incredible. So that creates the unwrap, but it also makes a strange thing like that. Let me see what happens if I rectify this. Oh, that's interesting. Okay, right. So that didn't work as planned, but no worries. We'll actually, we can fix it. What we could do is we can actually select these and press V, and what that'll do is it will stick that to that. Same with this, V, that'll stick that to that. V again, and yep, V, and I think that's, no, we've got another one coming in. Super, so that's been done. Now we can there we go. There we go. Wow, how easy is that? Brilliant. Oops. There we go. And there we are. Now we've got a nice, lovely looking thing there. Okay, I'm going to rotate this way. There we go. So you can see that it is good. It's a good unwrap. But you know, it's also rather long. Usually you would have this unwrap and then we'd have like another thing here, another smaller item. But whatever, you know, it's all right. It's fine. So what we're going to do now is we're going to make this the low poly. So I'm going to do ashtray low. Oops, that's very, very strong. Ashtray low. There we go. Let me check if I'm actually talking. Yes, I am. I am actually talking. Cool. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to call the high poly ashtray high. Cool. So now we've got the ashtray low and the ashtray high. I'm going to select both of the layers and then I'm going to make it bake. Let's bake this. Wowee, look at that. So let's give that a go, shall we? Let's select this and we'll do preview. Wow, that just doesn't work. So, why didn't it work? Good question. Let's go into Control-Alt-U and I'll see if the add-on Textiles is using the proper yes. So it's in DirectX. Let's give that a go in this. So I'll select both of these and rebake. Oh, and it's baked the inverse. And now we can preview that. And wow, look at that. Isn't that incredible? My God. Wow, Tom, well done. Thank you. Thank you very much. Now, I'm seeing, I don't know if you guys can see it, but I'm seeing some bullshit here. I don't really like that. I think it's a little bit shit. I think this is mostly because of anti-aliasing. Anti-aliasing. If nothing works, blame it on anti-aliasing. So let's give it a bit more anti-aliasing, shall we? Wowee. Let's give that a go. You see, that's a little better. For a texture that's 512, that's a lot better. Why don't we give it? Let's give it another go. You know, let's try and make this a lot more anti-aliasing. So I'll just select all of these and 4 times. This is going to be crazy. There we go. It's going to be exactly the same result. No, it's looking fine. It's looking actually not bad at all. Uh-oh. But what can I see here? A little bit of bullshit there. So, what shall I do? Let's give this another go. Alright, sorry about that. Then I'll check out this, and I'll do 0.02. Maybe that will change things a little bit. And I'll try baking again. Okay. Let's see what that does. Oops. No. No. Select everything. Bake it again. Select this. Preview it. Ah, there's still bullshit there. That's kind of infuriating. It's kind of extremely infuriating. Ah, that is a shot in the heart, man. I think it's because of Blender. I think it doesn't have a very good baker, and that's why it's doing this. God, what a shot to the heart, really. Yeah, we'll probably have to bake it inside of Substance Painter at school. Cool. Well, that's a bit of a shame. That's a bit of a letdown, a downer. I was really excited for that. But I guess that's how it is. You know what? I'm not going to give up. I'm going to try and actually make this not smooth. This will not work, but let's give it a go. Let's give it a go. Let's put an auto smooth to this. That will make everything nice like that. And then we'll bake that. Oh, that looks really good, doesn't it? It's not gonna look good. Let's preview it. Oh, fuck me. It actually looks really good. Well, there we go, ladies and gentlemen. Never, ever give up at giving up time. Hmm. 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 spotting something that I'm not a big fan of. If I smooth vertex there, oops, that should be like shading UVs. Will that do anything? No, it doesn't. Yeah, I guess that's fine. That's really fine. It's fine. It's fine. No, it's not. Fuck. Fuck. Is it fine? Is it okay? Let me just check here. It's kind of annoying. It's kind of infuriating. I don't want it to be like that. It can't end like this. Smooth edges. Can we not tell it to... I'll put 180 and then I'll set this to sharp and I'll set these to smooth. Let's see if that creates any... Man, what an interesting shape, eh? Getting me all stumped and shit. Love you. Right. So let's try this again. Bake. Oh, that's interesting, isn't it? That's created a few. Perfect. Perfect bake. Yes. 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 Cool. I think we're done here. Let's save this. Let's call this Bioshock Practice Free. The perfect bake. Excellent. No bullshit. If I were to go into MatCap, I'm scared of MatCap now because this could actually ruin everything. Oh, you can't actually show MatCap inside of... Oh, that's interesting. Well, you can see it here. There's nothing to be afraid of. If I were to actually make this property have a principal BSTF shader and actually create it so that this is here, you can see that there's nothing wrong with it. It's completely fine. Yeah, cool. I like it. Yeah, that's perfect. Groovy. Alright. I'm good with this. I'm happy with this. This is fine. And the reason why there's like stretches here is because I've got ambient occlusion on. If I turn that off, you can see how it is. And it's fine. It's alright. Yay! Way! Claps for Thomas. Thank you. Thank you. Cool. Alright, I'm done here. I'll see you guys later. Bye bye.